I think it's important to have the Identify the Signs campaign because we still have a lot of children who come to us who are late ID'd, in other words, who have missed a lot of time in getting a diagnosis and getting into intervention. Similarly, we have a lot of adults who don't seek out care when they really need it. And so we know that there are these gaps in folks getting the professional services that they need. Well, early intervention for children is such an important step because communication really is all about building blocks. So if you think about how the normal progression is for children to learn speech and language, hearing is the first step. You have to be able to hear speech in order to develop spoken language. You have to develop a foundational language in order to learn to read. And you have to be able to read in order to be successful in school and beyond. We know that if we can intervene early, the outcomes are better. And so time lost is time lost. We don't want to lose time. And the same could be said for adults who are slowly having difficulty with hearing or communication problems that they don't yet recognize. So they could have an impaired quality of life because they're not able to communicate successfully. I think sometimes people are late to get the advice of a professional about a communication disorder, speech language hearing disorder, because they don't understand what the signs are of the disorder. Sometimes it is a misconception that if the child has had a screening earlier in life, that indicates that forever the child will have normal development. And sometimes it is fear of what's ahead of them. I think with adults, it is fear of being stigmatized, feeling like an old person. And sometimes these problems happen gradually, and so the person may not even really appreciate that there is a problem. It may require the help of a family member to recognize that there's something different happening. Well, audiologists and speech-language pathologists are uniquely qualified to deal with individuals with communication disorders. Audiologists, for example, are trained to deal with hearing loss, dizziness, balance disorders, and are highly qualified professionals. Speech-language pathologists, on the other hand, are highly skilled at dealing with delays or disorders in speech, language, and swallowing. So to find a professional who is highly qualified to both evaluate and treat communication disorders, there is information available on the ASHA website, specifically at asha.org/profind. Going to that location will enable parents, family members, and others to find a professional in their geographic area.